Greetings, I'm Chevalier, and I bid you welcome to the initial situation and guide of the Papal State. This is going to be part 1 of the guide, that means the initial situation guide, and what is the best option to maximize the initial start. Now let's go over to cash. We're going to decrease this, we're going to kill off the fleet maintenance as well. And we're going to do this. You have a fort in Avignon, which I recommend killing, because it's going to be hard for you to defend this fort here. If somebody attacks you, moving your troops from this part to this part here, that is going to be hard. That will allow the enemies time to conquer it, and that's going to be really bad for you because it's going to take you more time to retake it, and that is not recommended. More cash. There's nothing more that you can actually take out from here. If you go to trade, you are in the general trade node, which is really good. You're going to gain a decent amount of cash from this trade node. As for pushing, just push from Ragusa and Champagne, for example, is a good place to push from. Any other place like Venice as well, you can take lands to earn from Venice as well is good. Depends on the situation. If you have more power in the node, for example, you have more power in the Seville trade node or the Champagne trade node later on, you're going to want to move your trader from Venice to actually push for Champagne. Of course, you can actually do a conquest of all the Venetian nodes of the Venetian node as well, and basically collect from the Venetian node and Genoa trade node. That's mainly in the late game when you actually blob out. But yeah, this is the start of how you should actually maximize the trade income. You're in the Genoa trade node, you have an end trade node, so you're just golden. Now, let's go to estates. So, at the current time, you have the burghers, you can actually grant a monopoly, then recruit a minister, then grant an admiralship. This is gonna get you to 80, you can actually demand diplomatic 150. Later on, just remove Ancona from these guys because they do not expect to control anything. That will give you some more cash. You can demand right now because you're not going to develop anything anytime soon as well, which is going to be good, so you can demand at this point. And later on you can actually remove Ancona. As for the clergy, here it's a little bit tricky. You'll want to go for a 6 support first. That's going to get you to 78, then demand. You cannot use the things from here, from the Korea controller, unfortunately, so you don't need the papal influence. The early devotion is decent, I would say, but still it's not that important. It's gonna go up by event on your war when your pope dies, for example. Man, this guy is shit. But yeah, you can actually go for demand admin support as well here. As for the nobility, it is a little bit tricky. You can recruit a minister and call a diet. This is gonna get you 74, which is not good. It's possible for you to also grant a generalship as well. This is gonna get you to 94. Then reduce Romagna. Then give them Avignon so remove Romagna because it's higher. Then give them back Avignon. This will actually lower this stuff to some degree. Tricky, but doable. Here I do recommend waiting until it goes down to 61 or 60.01, or whenever you can find it, so you can actually maximize the maintenance modifier here as well, so you can get more cash. And this is it for the estates. Now if you go to court, of course go for admin points. As for advisors, you're gonna get a decent amount of cash. So my recommendation is going for the yearly refreshment guy +2 that we got. Here it's the, let's see, you do have the cash ready. I do recommend going for the standard guy, the 2 +2 points, and now I do recommend going for the manpower, discipline, whatever you can get but a +1 because you won't have the cash to go for a +2. And that is it. Probably this guy will die really soon. You'll make him into a general as well. Okay, you cannot. That's unfortunate, you cannot make. But if you'll get events that when the Pope might die, so that's good as well. Just kill the Pope. This will allow you to actually control the Curia to some degree, to control the papacy. because you can actually cycle to leaders that you don't have control over, and that's gonna help you. Now, for the government, you are a papacy, and you have the yearly 1 prestige, tolerance over through fate, and a monthly autonomy change. You have the Blasphemy Act, no expiration date, which is good. As well as you're gonna get more missionary strength if you most likely want to move into the Ottomans, and that's gonna be well. Ottomans, Tunis is not that great, but so moving into the Ottomans should be done really quickly. Here there's not much to say. You do have a modifier here that gives you less advisor cost because you're the Queria controller, so you're gonna get minus 20%. Remember, Queria control is very important and depends on how you can control it to the best of your abilities. Now this is all here. Let's go for diplomacy. Now, to the Papal State rivalry, the English rivalry. That's a really fucking bug. Yeah. Anyway, as you can see, you have a decent amount of enemies that you can choose. At the current time, it should probably just rival the smallest guys available, which is that you can attack, of course, which is province, followed by that's pretty much it, I guess. Followed by province, so province should be the first. Then you see who you want to attack and if you should attack somebody. For example, at this point in time, Venice is rivaled by Aragon, so if you want to attack Venice, for example, you'll rival your ally Aragon, so rival Venice. So I'll rival Venice, which is not possible at this point in time, really. And things have really changed. Now this is a really bad start. So this is an uncommon start, in my opinion. Usually Austria will rival Venice because they want their lands, and Aragon will not rival Venice, depending on situation. At the same time, I'll not be rivaled by England. I'll not be rivaled by usually Hungary rivals me. But yeah, you should be able to actually rival Venice and then go at it and attack Venice with an alliance with Austria. Now, Austria will accept an alliance from you. I do recommend getting this as soon as possible before they actually lose their friendly status. If you get an alliance, you'll be able to become part of the HRE. You need 193 points, so give it an alliance, keep on improving, and get your stuff ready with with Austria, so you can get your lands into the HRE. That will also mean that you're gonna have the protection of the Emperor, and all is good and dandy. So an alliance with Austria is warranted, and improving relations to them to 200, it's also warranted. Although you might actually have to feed them some cash or transfer trade power, anything of this sort to get your relations to 200, because you cannot get a royal marriage. So you're gonna get 275. Then you're gonna have to gift them or do anything of that sort to actually get some more. Now, give subsidies. I guess you can give them subsidies or anything of that sort to offer me tax. Is gonna get you plus 10 as well. That's gonna be good. Other than this, you cannot procurement guarantee because you are too strong. Yeah, you are too small to basically get more improved relations from them. So it's just best to give them, and you can get over 200 until you can get over until you can become part of the HRE. I do recommend just staying without conquering anything and just make claims and just be ready for the attack. As for second allies, Aragon, or if you want to move against Aragon, Castile. If you can actually rival Aragon, you'll be able to ally Castile. At the same time, you can ally France and, for example, attack Provence. Although it's possible that you might actually want to attack France to take lands from them if they are in trouble. So it depends on the situation and how you expand. The fact that you have Avignon here is really gonna help. Mainly, you'll want to take Provence into the to bring Provence into the fold as well. That is gonna be good. But yeah, these are the main allies: Austria, France, and Castile, and perhaps Aragon against Venice if you want to bring him in against the war in the war against the Venice, or if you want to bring Austria into war against Venice, you don't need Aragon. So those are the main allies at the start. We talked about economy, trade, let's talk about tech. So basically, you are Western tech. You were Western tech. Now you are basically in Europe, and you're gonna get institutions really fast. Take this very quickly. Remember, we watch out for the institution penalty and the minus 5% from somebody having a tech ahead of you, and take it really fast so you can get the first idea. This wait and bide your time so you can put your points into the idea. With the military, take it whenever you can, or if you can use the modifiers here so that you will get less cost. But usually try to get it before you go to a war, or when you have no more cash. No more cash, you're infiltrated by somebody and you want to be less likely for them to attack you. As for ideas, Papal State has +1 Diplo reputation, religious unity +25%, at max they have +5 discipline. You have the tolerance of the true fate +2, you have the national tax modifier, you have the yearly prestige, you have the cost to fabricate claims -25, production efficiency +10, prestige decay, and aggressive expansion impact. Overall, this is a decent set, I would say so myself. You have so many modifiers in prestige that you'll basically have full prestige or every time, so you're gonna have a huge amount of prestige all the game. So you're gonna be golden on there, you're gonna have 100% prestige, and you're gonna get the modifiers from that, which is gonna be perfect. As for some other stuff, it allows you to build tall. Your aggressive expansion impact is gonna help you when you want to conquer. The religious unity is gonna help you when you actually move into this lands here, and it's gonna help you quite a lot. The diplomatic reputation is good because you're gonna be able to annex guys faster, and that's gonna be helpful as well. You're gonna get some events that's gonna give you more diplo, and I will talk about this when I go to events. But overall, the ideas are decent and they're gonna allow you to expand to some degree. Now, for the ideas, for the national ideas, influence followed by admin, followed by perhaps exploration if you moved into Aragon a lot and you can actually move to a new world, followed by expansion, then a military idea. This is simply doable and is the standard and the simplest one. If you don't have a way into a new world, just go for religious ideas so you can actually convert this faster, followed by a military idea, then followed by exploration ideas, although by that time everybody would have conquered this area here, so you won't need real exploration ideas. You might want to go for, let's say, a trade idea or economic idea to actually consolidate your empire and build a tall empire. So basically you want to just build all of the basically the what's it called, the Italian region here, with their own culture, especially because we have plenty of farmlands here that you can actually invest quite cheaply in. No, farmlands. So yeah, plenty of farmlands that you can actually invest in, and plenty of high development provinces that you can actually boost up. As for states, you're gonna have a decent amount. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 states, with 12 with Corsica and Sardinia. So that's gonna be really good. Yeah, also, there's a huge amount of development in these regions that's gonna help you boost up your really centralized empire with high amount of development, so you won't need to go find better lands that you want to conquer. Also, regarding on technology, which I forgot to say, most of the institutions basically start here. For example, the Renaissance will start here, the colonialism will start here, and it's gonna spread quite, not fast, but decently fast here. The printing press is gonna spread around this area here, and it's gonna advance into your land quite fast. Global trade is gonna spawn in this region, which is gonna be good. Remember that you have to have a highest amount of trade in your trade node, so basically Genoa trade node, so that you can actually get it. manufacturers. You can actually get this yourself by switching the tech to your advantage, and alignment is gonna usually start in England, unfortunately. But by that time, by the 1700s, you should probably just kill off England by then. I mean, I could kill off England by the 1600s, I would say. Maybe 1650s, I'll probably move all the way to Scotland and take all over France. It actually depends, but it's doable. It's doable. You have you have the points, the what's it called, the position to pull it off. And that is all for the ideas as well. There's nothing much to talk here. Now, for missions and decisions, you can declare the Kingdom of God. You're gonna get a permanent claim on basically the Italian region, and you're gonna have those modifiers here. The national manpower modifier, prestige, and yearly devotion. Now, from my understanding of this, unfortunately, that is actually gonna kill the Korea control as well. So it's gonna kill the papacy here, the Korea control, and you might not want this to happen, to be honest, simply because doing this, you're gonna have the stability cost modifier minus 10%. Like, usually the papal state gets this all the time, and it's better than actually having the Kingdom of God. That is from my understanding. If you pull this off, you're gonna lose it. As you can see, it doesn't actually stay here. Stay there. If I actually go to the wiki for a second, as the papal state, as the modifiers, yeah, it doesn't actually say, but yeah, but I'm confident that it's gonna remove the Kuya controller, so it's not that doable. If you want, you can try it yourself. I haven't played in dispatch the papal state for, I'll see, what, a year, even more, so I'm not that confident in what I'm telling you right now. Maybe it might be outdated and might be changing dispatch. My information is outdated, of course. As for missions and events, missions are basically eradicating other Christian denominations, so basically Orthodox, what's it called, Protestant, etc. As for the papal state, you have as for the events, you have plenty of flavor events, and they give you papal influence, they give you points. There are a decent amount, to be honest. I'll say that there are more than 50 to 60 events regarding the papal state flavor events. You can check out the wiki or the file that there is in the game, and that is gonna give you a rough idea. Also, there are some events that give you permanent claims, basically, that give you permanent bonuses. So that's gonna be good as well, either to technology, diplomacy, etc. Anything. Sorry, technology. What's it called? Reputation as well, I think. Manpower, if I'm not mistaken, with the Swiss Guard. So there are decent amount of events that give you campaign-wide bonuses. As for the missions, basically the Western Schism, basically it's for what's it called? So basically for the Avignon. So basically get Avignon, to actually own Avignon. If you own it, you're gonna get the claim on it. If you don't own it, Ancona, reclaim Ferrara missions, combating the heresy. So basically, it's when if the Protestant actually hits. No, if one of the provinces in the Italian region doesn't follow the what's it called, mate? The Catholic region, and that is gonna actually remove it. As for any other missions, there are not anything that important. Overall, the modifiers that all on the campaign are really good. The wide campaign modifiers are really good, and the decision here is gonna be decent. Although, as I told you, I'm not sure the Kingdom of God on Earth event happens. So basically, I think that event actually kills the Korea. So it's not that recommended. Also, you can actually play the Korea control to some degree. Basically, the more cardinals there are, the better control of the Korea you're gonna have. So if there is an event that gives you the control of the Korea, gives you an extra cardinal, just take it. That's gonna increase the control over the Korea that you have. Also, if you can control this by killing the Pope, if at all possible, by some events that actually happen to the Pope, so you can kill him. Next, ability and expansion, pretty standard here. Do whatever you can. I would recommend boosting this at the start, and then try to use the improved prestige mission, because you're gonna have the prestige going up to 50, and you can actually use this to get one more stability as well. Little bit of a tricky situations that you can actually use to your control. Other than this, nothing much more to say, just pretty much standard here. Religion, you're Catholic, you have the Korea control we were talking about. Careful of the Protestant, and careful of expanding here because you're gonna suffer. Though you have the religious unity, and that's gonna give you a decent amount of you have religions that give you religious unity. That is going to allow you to conquer lands take lands and convert them quite fast, especially because you're going to gain some modifiers that allow you to gain more missionary strength. Now, that's all for here. On the military tab, we are 14. 14th army force limit. You have 10 right now. You currently have 8 and 2, so I recommend building 2-2, so you can get to 12-4. No, build 2-3. Fortunately, I built 2-3, so just build 2-2. Then you're gonna build one other cavalry, and we go to 15, and it's gonna allow you to have maximum force limit there. As for naval force limit, build some more galleys. Basically, you currently have what? Just 5 galleys, so build more galleys to actually get control over the Italian region. It's also possible for you to build barks if you want to only attack on land, but that is going to be problematic simply because you might want to fight the Ottomans, and that's going to be problematic. Though you're going to have the help from Austria to fight off the Ottomans because they rivaled the Ottomans, and they usually also rival the Ottomans, so that's going to be good as well. Other than this, there's nothing much to say here. You are golden. You're going to be able to expand decently. Now, Urbino. So, with Urbino, it's a little bit complicated. You should keep Urbino as your vassal for quite a while. You can actually annex him in 1453, so in 9 years. Actually 8 years, because it's already 45. And feed him lands from Venice. Feed him Verona, Treviso, Friuli, Venezia, Istria. Feed him lands from Venice that you actually claimed, then annex him, and then just wait. If at all possible, if you are part of the HRE, try to feed him lands from Firenze as well, from Firenze, Ferrara as well, Genoa. If at all possible, try to feed him as much as possible and integrate him because it's going to be really important. And that is it for Avignon, and we talked about the state. So this is the initial situation and how you should maximize the situation that the Papal State is in, and how you should get more points on that and save more cash. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. If you enjoy, consider liking or subscribing, commenting. I really appreciate feedback to see what can I modify and what can I do better to actually so that you can enjoy more of my videos. With this, I bid you farewell, and I'll see you in the next episode when I'm gonna talk about the expansion guide of the Papal State and where you should go and what you should prioritize in expansion and who should attack. I'm Chevalier. Ciao.